If you want to make more money in this game, then you're going to have to take on more responsibility.
Right. Today, I've got a special guest. This is Alex from the Asian Mai Show. Okay, so Alex, I've subscribed to your channel for a long time, and you give a lot of information on all different types of trucking. That's your thing.
Yeah.
Educating truckers on the different types of industry and what they do. So you're educating truckers on the different types of trucking that they could, that I'm an expediter. I was on your channel. What have you found is a common thread then? So if I ask, what's the good thing that you found out of all these interviews and what's the bad thing that you found? So let's start with the good. Let's give them the good.
All right. So I would honestly say, Frank, like the good part is there's actually a lot of truck drivers out here.
Yeah. The good thing
about the interviews that I've been doing is I found out that there's a lot of people out here that really want to help people in the industry.
Yes.
That they're making good money. They're maybe shy. As truckers, we live a certain lifestyle, and it's almost like we're like the last cowboys. We're on the road. We like being by ourselves, or we are by ourselves a lot. So there's not a lot of interaction. So they're not going to come up to you and tell you, hey, I work at this place and I love it and I get paid well and I get treated. So from doing these interviews, I found that there's a lot of truck drivers that actually there's a community in this place. They want to help people.
Okay. So that's the good. So you found that there is a community out here of drivers that are willing to help each other and not take advantage or just want to share their experiences like I do, our lifestyle.
Exactly.
What is the common thing that you found that is bad that you found in the industry?
So where do I start? Where does this list go? But the first thing that I would actually say that I found that's bad from my experience as just learning how to interview people and just talking to truck drivers in general, a lot of people lie about how much money they make. Okay. And we talk about the good a lot. And there's so many people that they don't want to let you know publicly that life isn't that great.
Right.
That trucking isn't easy. You know what I mean? And it is a lifestyle. And I'll interview them and they'll say, hey, I work at this place and I only work 1 day a week and I'm getting paid $6,000 a month. You know what I mean? And so it gives people the wrong information about trucking that want to get in. And then they get in, everyone gets in thinking they're going to be a millionaire.
With its high expectation, and the reality is way down here.
Nothing is easy in life.
And I think that's something that you and I discussed off camera was that you have to, in whatever you decide to do, you have to go get rich. You're not just somebody's not going to hand you the keys to a $280,000 truck and it's magically going to make money.
That's right.
You're right. You're not going to, you come one of the hardest parts of the industries, which is moving. And it's supposed to be lucrative, but there's a reason it's supposed to be lucrative because it's the hardest work in the industry.
And to just touch upon that, and a lot of people ask me all the time, hey, Alex, why don't you talk about moving or recruiting people into the moving business? Truth be told, we put in so we have to unload and load the items in our truck, right? So if we're loading about, just say 5,000 pieces of items in our truck, any piece that breaks, we pay for it. I don't want to set anyone up for failure and tell them, hey, be a mover, make my money. If nothing breaks, then yes, you do make an X amount of dollars.
Right.
But I've done a friend in before and I just made it sound too good. And then he broke like a $10,000 piano. And now he's calling me hating his life because he's like, why did you get me into a business where I'm failing, I'm in the red, and everything he basically put on, he broke half the stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, there's got to be some responsibility.
Exactly.
I mean, you can't expect to load a piano and go, hey, at some point you got to go and have the smarts to go, I need to know how to do this.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And if I don't know how to do something, stop.
Exactly.
Let me figure it out. Let me call somebody who knows.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Especially, was it a surprise that he had to pay for something that he broke?
And that's the thing is, in the beginning, and I fault myself for this too, is I would make videos making moving just sound so great.
Right.
That all you do is you get to the house and someone puts the stuff in the truck, you don't got to touch it, and you're making all this money. And that was wrong with me. So now when I do interviews and such, or I'm actually talking about trucking, I try to be as transparent as possible. And we're all human. So that was if you call this a career, the beginning of my interviewing YouTube career, right? But you're right. Don't think people, and Frank is absolutely right about this, don't think that you're going to get into a 200,000 plus truck and not think that you're not going to have responsibility. If you want to make more money in this game, then you're going to have to take on more responsibility.
Right.
There's a whole bunch of trucks in front of us right now, and I know you guys can't see them, but basically you could tell who's making a little bit more money. And it's because they're willing to take on more responsibility and risk.
And the risk, we talked about risk also, more risk versus reward.
Right.
The more risk you take, it has the potential to make a lot more money. But at the same time, if something goes wrong, you tend to risk a lot more. One of the things that I do tell people, and I talked to you a little bit about this earlier, is people have this fear of trying something. What are you actually going to lose? If you have no monetary investment and it's just some of your time, is it worth it? It depends on what the risk. You have no risk except for some of your time. You're not putting any hard cash into it, and people are still scared to try something new, which drives me crazy.
Yeah, I know.
I don't get it. I was doing really well. I had my own authority. I still gave it a shot and came out here and tried something new. At the end of the day, I knew I could always go back to whatever I was doing. And that's the thing. It's like, whatever it is, if it's expediting, if it's car hauling, and I'm just looking around the car line.
Right.
If it's flatbed, whatever it is, if it's hauling $1 million boats, whatever it is, you got to give it a shot. And you talk about that. And I've seen a lot of videos. I've seen stuff that you did with the honey badger working at Swift. Swift gets such a bad rap.
Right.
But at the same time, it took a person who had no experience, put them in the truck, taught them how to do it, and showed that it is possible for anybody, any walk of life, to come into trucking and make a career on it.
Definitely.
And have you figured out from all your interviews, if you had to do it all over again, what you think you would do and where you would go?
Man, I'm going to be straight up. If I could do this all over again and moving, I could say this because I'm a mover. Moving sucks. All right. Moving sucks. Like, no one wants to, when I have to move, even my family, I call them a mover. I don't want to move. It's just lifting up and backbreaking.
I have a rule. If you and I are best friends, I will do anything for you. If you ask me to help you move, I will contribute to your moving expenses, but I do not want to move.
I love that.
I hate it worse. I'd rather pay somebody to help you move than to help you move.
No, I love that. No, what I wish I would have done, honestly, is now I'm gonna just pretend there's two different worlds. One where I'm single and one that I'm in a relationship. Okay. If I was single, I think that I would have tried probably flatbed, or I would tried just something that was not touched physically, but could make me the same amount of money. And being a heavy hauler, it takes time to get there, but I wish I could have gained the skills to learn how to do that. I still like working with my hands, but I want to make big money and I don't want to move furniture. Now, if I was in a couple, I'm telling you, if any of you, most of you are like, who's the hell's this Asian guy? But the ones that know who I am, Frank has shown me the numbers. We discussed personally, and they're making money over here. I see their lifestyle. You have to watch how people live, right? If a guy that's making trucking videos always talks about success in life, but all he's doing is talking about it basically right behind the seat of his truck, you might have to think, if
He's always in the trunk.
let's be honest, if he's really that successful or if she's really that successful, are they making it? I watch her videos. They're always on vacation. All right. It's just the truth. They're always on vacation. I live here in Florida. I haven't taken a cruise. They take cruises. So you better stop already, man. If I could redo it, I would think about something like this, where if I was in a relationship, a class B, you're not working hard to get it. I'm no disrespect to people that get their class B or A, but you don't have to back within a scary, like 70-foot trailer truck.
You don't have to go find your trailer.
You don't got to go find your trailer. And I'm not just saying this because we're on the channel now. I'm just saying, use your eyes, people. Not everyone can afford. And how much is this truck?
$280,000.
$280,000 truck. Believe me, if people that have a $280,000 truck are faking it, they'd be out of business already.
The payment's not cheap.
You know what I mean? So I'm telling you, if I could redo it again, if I was single, I'd love to be a heavy hauler. That's like a dream. And so I'd probably get the flatbedding and something like that. But if I was in a couple in a relationship, man, I'd give this a shot.
Expedite.
You know what I mean? We're not here trying to get you guys to do anything. But overall, we're just making videos to help people.
Yeah, that's cool. And I love that about your channel. It's like when we go to your channel, you're not pigeonholing. You pigeonhole yourself into an industry and helping people with the awareness of what's going on in the industry as far as jobs, right? Because you walk in any truck stop, there's this wall covered with people who want to hire drivers.
Right.
And then we talked about a company that has 3,000 trucks and they have to hire 4,000 drivers. every year to keep 3,000 trucks full. Something's wrong with that math. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
We stay in this business. This is our third trucks in 4 years that we've had. But I like that about your channel, that it shows so many different ways. And there's not only one way to skin a cat.
That's right. That's
There's
right.
lots of different ways. And just because I love and enjoy this, and yes, it is lucrative, and we do, it is a lifestyle that we enjoy.
Right.
Some people don't like parts of it. They don't like sitting. They don't like the pace. You know what I mean? This right here, where I'm sitting in the Florida sun, would be driving a trucker crazy right now. And I'm sitting here with you, and we're hanging out, and I'm not worried about the next thing.
Right. No, and I hear you,
Which
brother.
in the trucking industry is weird, right?
It is. It really is.
Right.
I'm telling you, people, man, if you get an opportunity to get out here and you know that you want to get into trucking and that's the lifestyle you already want to use and that's the one that you want to be in, then at least utilize it to the fullest potential and make the most highest dollar without doing the most work with the easiest entry level to get in. You know what I'm saying?
And you've talked to truckers.
Right.
And you've seen their pay from a company driver that's just getting in the business, which they're making more than we used to. Because, like, I think Honey Badgers make 40 cents a mile, but she's driving the Northeast, which is no joke.
That's right.
So she's making a little bit more. The nice thing about expediting is you get in at a top tier level pay compared to what's available out there for drivers at an entry level position. So you get in the game, and you're getting at a top level pay. You've talked to car haulers, you talk to movers, you talk to Swift drivers, you talk to flatbed haulers. They're all over the place. So as a solo driver, you would do flatbed. If you were a couple, you'd come do what we're doing. What would you avoid the most?
Man,
Moving.
honestly, I would say this. In trucking, everyone looks at cents per mile. And let's be honest, what does that really mean? That means that this company, for your time, for you to be away from your family, they're willing to work for cents. Okay? Try and find a way to get a piece of the pie. Try and find a company or a business that will allow you to get a percentage. Because when you're actually making real money, you're going to be happier and not stressed. So I always let people know that if you're working in a CPM situation, try to change that. Try to get with the company that will respect you for not what you're worth, but at least get paid what you should deserve to get paid. So,
well, Alex, I want to thank you a lot for your time. You guys can find him at the Asian My Show. I'll link it up over there, and I'll also link it down below.
Yeah.
Check out his channel. If you haven't, make sure you like the video and subscribe, please. Go check out Alex's channel, the Asian My Show, and make sure you sub to his channel. We'll see you next time.
hey,
Thanks for watching the video. I hope that you found some information that you could use. If you're interested in more videos like this, check out this video right here. And if you're interested in expediting or trucking, or you have any questions, make sure you check out the link below.